Welcome to the Gospel Road. We're going to look at John 15 today. It says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Each branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. And every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, that it may be more fruitful. Already you are clean because of the word that I have spoken to you. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit by itself, unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, it is that bears much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown away like a branch and withers, and the branches are gathered and thrown into the fire and burned. If you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things I have spoken to you, that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another as yourself. Love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, than someone lay down his life for his friend. You are my friends if you do what I command you. No longer do I call you servants, for the servant does not know his master what his master is doing. But I have called you friends. For all that I have heard from my Father, I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should abide, so that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give it to you. That these things I command you, so that you will love one another. If the world hates you, know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love you as its own. But because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they kept my word, they will also keep yours. But all these things they will do to you on account of my name, because they do not know him who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not have been guilty of sin, but now they have no excuse for their sin. Whoever hates me hates my Father also. If I had not done among them the works that no one else did, they would not be guilty of sin. But now they have seen and hated both me and my Father. But the word that is written in their law must be fulfilled. They hated me without cause. But when the Helper comes, whom I will send to you from the Father, the Spirit of truth, who proceeds from the Father, he will bear witness about me. And you also will bear witness, because you have been with me from the beginning. John 15. It's what we are looking at today. Lots of pieces in here. Now, a good focus is greater has no love than this, than someone lay down his life for his friend. Well, would you lay your life down for your friend? It's a good question. But there's other pieces in here that we can look at as we're trying to better ourselves, trying to grow, trying to help others be better people. Now, one part in here, it says the master or the servant is not greater than his master. Now, there's also where it talks about not calling them servants anymore because considers them friends. And when you are a servant and a master. The servant does not know what the master is doing. But we all know that's not a good thing. Now, when we're at work, it's not that we call our boss a friend. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we hang out after work with your supervisor or your manager because, again, they've worked their way into the position at some companies. Some were hired in. But it depends on their management style. Now, we've all dealt with managers that do not share what they're doing. That, bad communication. Very bad communication. Now, there's certain things you kind of have to wait until they're ready, but here again, you need to pick who needs to know what's going on. Now, sometimes if you're in a smaller company, a smaller division, you don't have a lot of staff, that's kind of a different story because anything that's happening is most likely going to affect everyone. So yeah, you don't keep it to yourself. You need to be more transparent. Have those conversations to let everyone know the plan, the idea, the vision, where things are going. The Bible says to write a vision and make it plain. I know over the years working at different radio stations, there's always been a vision. This is our goal. This is what we're going to do. This is our demographic. This is our focus. That laser point focus. So you know who you're talking to, that way you know what you should be talking about. Trying to really know what people are thinking and talking about, that takes a very special person. But most of the time it's the delivery and how you present the information that's being given, and it turns into entertainment and they enjoy it, and then you become popular. People love listening to you. People love watching you. People love talking to you. Now, where is it that you fall in that spectrum? What kind of manager are you? What kind of worker are you? Are you a worker that is going to find that vision and then take that on your own and go for that as a goal, which is what we need to be doing because we have to be working as a team together for that same goal if we want to be successful. Talking about the branches, providing much fruit, bearing much fruit. Success, to do that, you've got to understand, you need to know, you need to focus, you need to move forward, you need to learn what you need to know to be able to do what you're doing better. Again, it all comes down to communication. Talking to one another, letting others know what is happening, and not leaving them in a cold, not leaving them in some lurch somewhere that you have no idea or concept of what's going on, which unfortunately happens more often than not. Lots of bad communication. Lots of distrust. Sometimes when you hear things, also not a lot of verification. We heard it many times. Confirm and verify. Confirm what you heard. Verify that it's true. Verify that it's right. You need to do that a lot. So many things that we need to do to be better. I was finally getting the lawn mowed this morning. I'll get it some way. Haven't for about a month. State fair just wrapped up, and of course it was hot, so not a lot of growth. And then all of a sudden we're getting some rain, and some crazy weeds out of nowhere. And so I was pulling weeds and mowing the lawn this morning, getting that done. And then I'm sitting here thinking of all the things that need to be done, all the things that we need to do as an adult. Well, being an adult takes discipline. Now, hopefully we're learning that discipline as we grow up, as a child, as a teenager. Some do, some do not. But yeah, it's that discipline that we need to be aware of, that we are doing what needs to be done. I'm sitting here mowing going, I really do not like this. I hate mowing. But it's got to be done. So I've got to have like it or not, I have to have the discipline to get out there and get it done. So it gets done. It's funny the conversations that you have with many people that they lack that discipline. Laundry, they put it off. Dishes, they put it off. A lot of times we call it procrastination, but is it procrastination that you're just waiting, or is it discipline that you're just not wanting to get it done? Not really wanting to take that responsibility and do it. Lots of questions. Not saying that we have answers, but it's interesting when you think things through a little bit to understand where things are going, what things are doing. I think we run into a lot of people that do lack that discipline, that do lack that responsibility. Sometimes it's not even discipline. Sometimes it is the responsibility. That's something they do not want to do, so they find something else to do in its place just because they don't want to do it. But again, that could be discipline, because the discipline is you need to do this. You need to get it done. And if you just get it done, it's done, rather than waiting. Perfect example. I waited, but I waited because things were busy. So yeah, I have my excuses of, the time and not able to get out there and get the mowing done. But then when I mowed today, there were these just, again, wacky weeds that I really couldn't even mow. And what I had to do was I had to pull them because the mower couldn't take care of it. Or they were just these real viney tree things, almost looked like bonsai trees growing out of the ground. I know the rabbits loved them because when I went to go, and man, I don't know how many rabbits I saw today as I was getting the lawn taken care of. No, we had a storm last week, and there were also some branches and stuff I had to finish getting taken care of. And one I started working on last week. I didn't get it done, but I finished it today, so it's all now in the bin for yard wastes for them to pick up at the end of the week. Where are you when it comes to discipline and getting the job done, getting a project completed in time, wanting to? Are you one that, even though it's something you do not like doing, you'll still get it done? I know there's lots of things I don't like to do, even in my job, but I know I have to do it. One of them is going through the logs every day and editing and manipulating them to make sure they time out and everything does what it's supposed to do, which makes us sound better, which keeps us on the air. It's monotonous. It is. It's annoying. But I do it. I mean, and of course, I've been doing it for years, but this one a little more intense than what I've been used to in the past. But it's no different than, scheduling a music log. That's scheduling music that you hear when you listen to a radio station. We have a program that puts that together, but as you schedule it, you still need to go through and make sure that the program did what it did, or make sure all the slots were filled, and then even make sure you have enough music in the hour so it times out. All the timing. It's all about timing. So when you have somebody that you're working with that needs to learn to do what they're doing better, are you helping them to grow? To help them bear more fruit? To help them be more successful? Which helps you be successful because you're helping them? Or are you not really treating them as equal and almost like a master, not sharing any information then at all? It's almost like the servant master, because the servant does not know what the master is doing. How is it that you're treating them? Are you on that level playing field? Sometimes I forget to say things just because I forget to say it. Not that I'm trying to keep a secret or keep people in the dark. A lot of times I feel like that I'm that mushroom just in the dark, fed garbage. Sometimes we feel like that because of the communication that happens in our workplace, at home, with our friends. How close do you feel with your friends? How good of friends do you have? I was realizing something this week for me of how I really compartmentalize everything, because I have people that I do things with, certain people that I do things with. I really do not have that regular friend that I talk to every day or hang out with multiple times a week. Not sure that I've had that since I was a kid, and even then it was questionable about the friends, because they were friends one day and then they were bullying me and beating the snot out of me the next day. But I have, a friend that I meet once a week for a conversation. I mean, he's a friend, but that's like the only time we do anything is that one time a week. We don't hang out outside of that. Rarely, very often, if it even happens. I have another guy that, again, we meet once a week, but he is someone that I work with. Not really done anything outside of work except golf. Yeah, the one I meet for a cigar every week, and I meet for a cigar, and we talk business and different things, and then, occasionally, in fact, we just played golf yesterday. We had an outing that we were part of. But yeah, it's as though I have this person I do this with, but they don't commingle. They don't interact with other parts of my life very often. And then some people don't understand that because they're saying, I'm not meeting your friends. Who are your friends? Who are these people that you talk about? And it's like I talk about them. We have conversations, but we're not hanging out on a regular basis. So it's not as if I'm doing something that you could go that you could then meet them. I mean, is that crazy? Is that life? As we get older, we don't have time, so everything becomes more compartmentalized rather than together. Even though with what I do, there's not a lot of separation between, there's not really a lot of work-life balance. And people do not understand that, and it really frustrates them too. Trust me, I have had a couple marriages dealing with that and a few other relationships, and they don't get it. And it bothers them. It bugs them. So either they work or they are not. Unfortunately, it's putting me in a position that it's kind of like whatever happens, happens. It is what it is. I was reading something. It was a little video. It was I don't know if it was on TikTok or it was a reel on Instagram, but they were saying how a person that uses that term, it is what it is a dangerous person. Because at some point, whatever life hands them, it might hurt them. They might be crushed inside. But you're not going to see it. You're not going to know. Because it is what it is. They might miss someone terribly. But it is what it is. See, this is, again, where we have to be careful. Do I fail? Yes. Do I fail at communication? Yes. But this is where those pieces come in. Will you lay down your life for a friend? Now, all these guys, girls that I know that we talk for whatever the reason being, work, yeah. Honestly, I'd take a bullet for them. I think I would. I'm pretty confident that I would. It's like I'm pretty confident that, I know Jesus Christ is my personal Savior and I love Him. And I know God. I'm confident about that. I'm confident that, yeah, I would. Of course, I probably would even do that for a stranger. Because there's a plan for their life that needs to be fulfilled, right? So then, if I do that, it must be my time. That was my purpose. Life is not easy. It is complicated. There are no simple answers out there for anything. And then we got to sit there and try and figure it out the best we can. Easy? No. Simple? No. Will we figure it out? Probably not. John 15. That's what we looked at today. How does it speak to you? What does it say to you? How does it help you be that better communicator, be that better friend, that better boss, that better parent, grandparent, whatever it is that you put that label on, we'll say, just making you better, making you more successful, loving one another, helping each other, picking them up when they're down, not kicking them while they're down, being successful, helping others be successful. Applaud them when something good happens to them, because then when your time comes, you will also get the applause. John 15. Read that. See how it helps you today. You can always find many of the things I do, little crazy videos. In fact, I did a video from golf yesterday that I posted. Nothing fancy, but it's up there. And then I also, my word of the days and other different things that I do. You can always find those on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, My Buddy Jimmy, mybuddyjimmy.com as well. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it on your social media. Share it with friends and family, with coworkers. Really appreciate that, as well as giving me a rating on the platform that you are listening as well. Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.
Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com.
If you're looking for help with software, app, web development, be sure to check out my friends at ingenuitycompany.com. They believe in their clients. Software development, app development, web development, visioning, design thinking, diagramming, organizational development, strategy. They can help you at the Ingenuity Company. Find out more at ingenuitycompany.com. Barbecue provided by Kenny's Rib Wagon, catering ribs for your pleasure and serving daily at Plaza Pub, 62nd and Douglas in Des Moines, across from Merle Hay Mall. Find Kenny's Rib Wagon on Facebook.
The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.